So the third episode of The Bad Batch was pretty great. This was definitely a huge improvement upon the last episode. One thing I really loved about this episode was the fact that it progressed the overall narrative in a satisfying way, which I felt was lacking in episode 2. The show took advantage of its stranded on a barren planet setting to build character relationships, which is something that I feel as though shows like season 1 of The Mandalorian didn't do enough of. The episode opens with more of the interplay between the characters that I've really come to love. There's a lot more humorous moments, especially between Omega and Wrecker. The interplay between these two characters is so funny and sweet. For me, it's by far one of my favourite things in the show. There was a setup at the start of the episode involving Omega having nowhere to sleep, and this being brought to Wrecker's attention. What I love is that it's played off as a humorous throwaway moment at first, but then pays off at the end of the episode in a very touching and satisfying way. One thing about the last episode that I was missing was Crosshair. This character is extremely fascinating for me, and is probably one of the most intriguing and nuanced characters in the Star Wars universe. There's a very layered history between him and the rest of the main group. This is demonstrated very effectively in the episode when the main team find his old gear belongings in the ship and admit to missing him. It's strange to see such a cold and ruthless character get so much care and attention from the titular heroes. I definitely feel as though this is something that the Star Wars universe has been lacking for a very long time. The episode introduces new antagonists, a group of non-clone trooper new recruits, essentially future stormtroopers. They do an effective job at creating conflict between Crosshairs, a clone, and the new recruits. It's very fascinating seeing Crosshair's reaction to essentially being made redundant. There's a lot of intriguing conflicts being set up between him and these future stormtroopers, which I'm looking forward to seeing unfold. I love the fact that this show is taking an unanswered question, that being in regards to what happened to the clones in between 3 and 4, and is turning it into an intriguing side plot. I also like how the show is taking the concept of clone troopers, and the way in which they are conditioned like Crosshair, and is using it to explore some interesting themes such as free will. There are also moments in which the future stormtroopers explain their rationale for joining the Empire in a way that makes them surprisingly sympathetic. There are also some surprisingly effective scary moments, one of which involves claw marks on the side of the character's ship while they are stranded. The episode had quite a few dark moments for a PG show in general. There's one particular tense scene involving a group of innocent characters being held at gunpoint by Crosshairs and the new recruits. This scene does a good job at showing not only Crosshair's further dark descent, but also how otherwise normal soldiers are becoming corrupted by the Empire. All in all, this episode is a huge improvement on episode 2. It was very eventful, well paced, and did a good job at progressing Crosshairs and the Bad Batch's troubled relationship to him. I'm looking forward to seeing where the series takes these characters next, and if I have to rate this episode, I'm rating it a solid 7 out of 10. I have more videos coming, including more Bad Batch reviews, so please subscribe and stay tuned for that. Till next time.